Well, it's Friday, and we are here to do our thing. And now, as I'm pushing this button, it's like there's an error. Oh, you know why? Because I deleted me on the Twitters, so I don't have a Twitter anymore. That's it. I canceled and deleted my Twitter. Starting user 10,202 with over 300,000 followers, and I deleted my Twitter. So we're going to do a couple fun things today. I've got a couple clips. This is the show in between the shows. We have not launched Play for Time yet. This is under construction, and it is janky. So let me do this. Put up a graphic. Here's some music. Yeah, there you go. So that's like me starting the show, right? Hey, Chloe Fortkin, good to see you. How are you? Get those Notion templates flowing. Hi, Leslie. How are you? Welcome. Happy Friday. It is Friday. Friday, my dudes. No. Yes, do it. Kerry's in the comments today because Kerry is joining us from somewhere. Did someone say cookie fast? Oh, funny you should say this. We have cookies, we have fasting, we have many things going on today. I broke a few things. It's a little janky in here, like I've been saying. So I'm going to show you some video clips, but I'm going to do this really kind of, hopefully it works way. So let's do this. I'm going to share. I'm going to share this. I'm going to share it with some audio. Douche. Okay, and then I'm going to put this up on our screen when the time is right. Oops. I got to tell my boss I can't pick up the phone right. Disconnect. Disconnect. And now for some reason it's not working. Give me 1 second. I'm not muted. I fixed it. Now I'm just technically displeased. I am on day 7 of my third 7-day fast. So I've done 7 days, then go back to eat, 7 days, come back to eat. It's the third time I've done it. I'm on plan. I have a plan, I have a detail, I have a deadline, I have a thought process, and I'm seeing results that are beneficial to me. I stopped to get black iced coffee because I can have black iced coffee, I can have black or herbal tea, I can have all the water, obviously. That's about it. Electrolytes, my medicine, and that's it. No food, 7 days. How I started to do this is a weird starting point. My friend Chloe Forbes Kindlin said to me, hey, there's this book I read called Dopamine Nation, and I think you're going to love it. You know what? I'll get the audiobook. I will give it a shot. And I did. And I was like, wow, that is impressive. And what she was talking about was that we all get so many opportunities to kind of push the dopamine button, the like excitement and pleasure buttons in our life. She thinks that there's sort of a scale and we need to do something to deprive ourselves sometimes. One of her examples was fasting. And she talked about like intermittent fasting where you like skip breakfast or something. And of course, me being extreme, I was like, no, here's what we'll do, 7-day fast. So I said to my friend Chloe, why don't we do a 7-day fast together? Because everything is better if you have a partner in crime. So we said, sure, cool, let's start. So we started on like a Saturday night, went to bed, went 7 full calendar days and came out the other side and then started eating with something very gentle. We can talk about that later. And why? 1, to see if you could. 2, just observe what is or isn't hunger. You learn so much about mental hunger, like Oh, I'm bored. I think I'll eat. Oh, I'm upset that something happened. I think I'll eat. You learn a lot. And then the third was, it wouldn't hurt if like I dropped a few lbs in the process, and that has also happened. So it's funny how much of Dave's Fish Market is backing up right now. I'm standing next to a candy shop. I can see the new kitchen. I can see the Oregano Italian restaurant, pizza place one more down. We're surrounded by food all the time. When you think about going out, what do you think about? You go out and get a bite with someone. You get a cup of coffee, but what do you get? Like a little bagel or something. You go for lunch, you get a sandwich or a pizza slice or something. Food is all over the place. And so when you start thinking about it, you go, wow, it is no wonder obesity is like 58% of Americans. I'm probably 20% of it on my own. Side effects. One thing is I noticed that when I'm done doing this, while I'm doing the fast, I crave the weirdest things. I crave a mix of horrific things and a mix of like weirdly, like celery or pizza slices and things like that, or dumplings, Chinese dumplings. And what's real is when I get done this, I want to eat good for me things. Like I want to eat the best possible whatever. It doesn't have to be amazing. It doesn't have to be gourmet. It has to be better quality. I think that's an interesting side effect. There's different types of fasts. You can do like what I'm doing, which is just water, black tea, black coffee, nothing else for however many days you set up. There are people who do juice fasts. If you see the documentary Fat, Sick, or Nearly Dead, that guy bought a juicer and he just like got the juice out of cucumbers or carrots or whatever, which is still taking in plenty of calories. The reason I picked the water fast is that after 3 days, you go into ketosis. After 4 days, you go into what's called autophagy. I think that's how you say it, autophagy. And what that means is your muscles and everything and your cells start to try to replenish and refresh. So if you think about it, we eat, and when we eat, our body takes that stuff and translates it into food. But they can either process food or they can try to fix us. So it's one or the other. I picked the one where it's going to fix it. Goofy kids coming into the shot like that. It was fine. It was whatever. But yeah, so fasting. So Chloe, who's here in the comments as well, and I have done now 3 different 7-day fasts. How crazy. We learn a lot each time. We learn about foods that we like, foods we don't like. We learn a lot about stuff that we have chosen to eat after the fast. We've learned about some differences to our immune systems, to where our body works. It's really fascinating. So it was a fun segment to put together to talk about it, especially because we were talking about it, I think on the last day or the next to last day of my fast. And Kerry had the idea, hey, let's go hang out next to a lot of foods. So I'm holding donuts in my hand for half of this thing because she's running the camera, and it was fun. It was fun. But as part of this, we had a bit of a side quest. And so I'm going to see if I can pop up this video really quick and show you the side quest, because we met a person who makes cookies in a tradition that her mom started over 50 years ago. So part of my janky thing here, do this. What kind of cookies have you made? What's the one people love?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say our Alta Rock, which is a classic chocolate chip base with our almost brownie-like on top. In a 2-in-1 is super popular. Or the peanut butter. It's a peanut butter chocolate chip with Reese's on top. And we've recently, as of last week, made it into gluten-free.
Wow.
Because so many people out here fast. So.
You have to do what the clients need.
Right. When is your fast end?
Right, my fast ends at 6 p.m. What's the texture situation? You have way better texture than a lot of people who make cookies.
Ooh.
What's your tip? What's your tip?
What's the tip? My mom has been at it for 43 years. She started Nantucket Cake Company in 1981. Wow. So baking her whole life. So I think it's just experience.
Was that tricky growing up with this scenario in the house?
Oh, yeah. Talk about fasting. I should have been fasting a long time ago.
My next door neighbor, Robbie, his Grammy made cookies, donuts that she sold to local grocery stores. And so every day on the way to school, we'd walk by her place, get a warm donut right off the stove.
Yep. Cookies, cake scraps. You know, my mom would cut them down. The cake's nice and smooth. Cake scraps were just all the time. My friends are like, let's go to your house. I'm like, no.
I'm looking at the Shimo.
Shimo is great. It's a little crumbly on the outside, soft on the inside. Kind of like Oreo with a little bit of this coarse sugar, pinch of salt.
These all could be just called the Yes Cookie. Chris Brogan. Look, they shouldn't even let me have a stupid show. I'm gonna cancel. But you got to deal with this twice too. You're gonna deal with this today. You're gonna deal with this a week from now because somebody is overseas. So you're stuck with me again. Sorry. But the other thing, so I just was at the Marketing Props B2B Summit. Kerry went as well, and we went and we both learned a couple of things. So our friend Ann Handley runs it. This is Kerry's last job too. She used to work there, but we go every year, amongst other things, but kind of primarily in a lot of ways for our friend Steve Garfield from stevegarfield.com. Unbelievable. Steve Garfield does a photo walk every single year. And so we put together what it was like to be on this photo walk, which, by the way, was 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees for my friends in the Celsius scale system. Let me show you a little bit about what that photo walk looked like. Kind of fun. Boston skyline, all that sort of thing. Oh, this isn't where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be clicking on shared with me. Dun, dun, dun. Where did it go? There it went. Photo walk segment.
Stop walking, everybody! Stop! We're gonna go this way! This way!
Steve Garfield is the ultimate ham. That's all we have to say about that. He is so damned funny. Oh, what a fun little bit. I was really impressed too with Kerry's B-roll on that one. She covered so much footage that we were able to have a lot of different ways to do some shots. Videography is a really tricky thing. Like, you don't think about it when you're doing it because you just sort of like put your camera on the subject of the person you're going to talk about. And we had kind of a talk track version of that set up. But it was fun because Kerry had done so many like kind of panning shots and static shots and all that kind of thing, that when we got the opportunity to edit it, and Dan was nice enough to edit it for us, we had enough that we could just do it kind of like a music montage, and except for Steve screaming, "Stop walking, everybody. You're going the wrong way," which was a real thing that happened. But Steve, knowing that the camera was rolling, had to absolutely make it a little more dramatized because he's just lovely that way. So like I said about the new show, Play for Time, I mean, the real idea is just how do you stay engaged as we age? You know, it's the real easiest show to think about how we're going to do it. I want clips like this from you. And I've asked a few times, I haven't seen any yet, but I'm hoping that you come and jump in and make some ideas of your own. It could be whatever. It could be like, I like to take my dog to the park, or this is my little circuit I do around town, or something like that. Love to have some help if you're up for it. Would love to have you as part of the show. Play for Time is going to be for everybody who's approaching different parts of their ages. You know, it's, I think, largely going to be towards people in their 40s through their 80s, but there's people in their 30s who are on the show. So by all means, come and participate, be part of it. So that was it for that. These are the 3 segments that we put together for the show. It's fun. It's fun putting together and cobbling segments. You know, you take basically like a slightly better than normal camera, better if you've got one that you can actually see the, you know, screen on it and stuff like that. You start recording. You take little bitty clips of recordings, cut them all together, and make a nice little piece of film. Voila, you're making a show. It's really fun to make a show. I really like that opportunity. Related to that, because I always forget to say it, you know, we are sponsored by StreamYard. You can go to cbrogan.net/StreamYard to take a look at what they use to make this thing. And as much as I fumble through it and cause myself some problems, it's a pretty good app. You can do some good stuff with it. With that said, I think we're going to call it. Get out of here.